Hello. Welcome to TutorTech with Hannah Graham. This session is part of our mission to make tech and digital skills accessible to all, because we believe everyone deserves a seat at the table in the digital future. Are you a creative professional? Or simply curious about how tech and AI can help you grow? You're in the right place. This event is your gateway to discovering how to leverage artificial intelligence, digital storytelling, and tech-driven content creation, without needing a tech background. Today, you'll learn strategies to stay relevant, grow your business, and tap into global opportunities, even from developing countries. Join inspiring voices like Hannah Graham, Omowunmi Oluwadagbemi, Debbie Stone, and Funmi Onyema as we share insights to help you thrive in a fast-changing digital world.
Trending music.
Let's dive
for
in.
a reason. Now, there's something CapCut does. If you use CapCut, you know that CapCut can let you know if a video will be muted if you post it on some platform. For example, I was doing a video for somebody. I shot a video. So this is my creative space. This is my content hub and creative space. People actually come here to shoot videos. So I'm a phone videographer. I don't have like a professional camera. Sorry, I'm trying to block the light behind me. It's distracting. I don't have a phone camera. So for a professional camera, I use my phone for all my content. If you go to my Instagram, you will see the videos I've shot for business owners, and that is how good I am with my phone. All right. So why I said CapCut is good for trending is because CapCut helps you know that this sound might be trending, but it might have copyright issues, so don't use it. So anytime I import a sound to CapCut, I make sure that I check if I will be muted. Okay? Now, sorry about that. CapCut can tell you that you will be muted. But what that means is, even if you upload on Instagram, if you're going to download the video, CapCut would not, maybe Instagram will not let you download the video with the sound, because the sound belongs to a particular artist. So you might download the video, but they'll give you the video without the sound. So that's what CapCut helps you do. Now, Canva Pro helps you with graphic design, helps you with templates, helps you with resizing, okay? To resize your videos. I do a lot of carousels on Canva. For those of us who don't know what carousels are, let me quickly show you what carousels are. So this is my Instagram, and this is what carousels are. This is what we call carousels, okay? And carousels, I noticed that carousels give more results, especially with followership, than reels. I don't know why, but I've gotten more followers from carousels than reels, because even if I post a carousel, it's not even so much, I tend to have more followers from that. Now, Canva helps you with graphic design, templates, and resizing. So Runway AI is for advanced video production and motion tracking. That's advanced editing. Buffer is for social media posting, insights, analytics. Now, these tools come with free and paid options. Like I said earlier, they come with free and paid options. Now, the challenge and considerations. Quality control. AI requires human oversight to ensure relevance and accuracy, okay? Like I said earlier, it's what you give AI that it gives back. Because it's AI doesn't mean that, sometimes you have to use your brain. Because when you use ChatGPT, sometimes they tell you sometimes ChatGPT might be wrong. It's not always correct. And there are times when you even give it a prompt, and what it does is it generates something and then it deletes it, or it starts generating and it stops halfway. All right, so it doesn't mean that you give up on it. Just give it another prompt. Okay, so ethical concerns, avoiding plagiarism, and maintaining authenticity. All right, now, there are people who give ChatGPT prompts, and this is where you know if you're intelligent or not, okay? Because as human beings, as content creators, we should also have some level of intelligence. You cannot rely solely on ChatGPT. Yesterday, I forgot to say, when I was trying to do this thing, my phone was down because I'd been shooting videos with my phone. So I had to charge it and use my friend's phone. Trust me, her ChatGPT couldn't open. We tried everything, it didn't open. So it was now left to me to generate that script. But I came back and I said, okay, let's just go to my office and try and use my phone. And we're still able to generate. So what if my phone, what if ChatGPT didn't work on my phone? What if ChatGPT site was shut down and I was still going to do that video? I still had to do that video. So you have to have some level of intelligence. Now, when you give ChatGPT a prompt, you don't just copy it like that and paste. People will know it's ChatGPT. Okay? ChatGPT likes to use a lot of emojis. Sorry? Someone said something. ChatGPT likes to use a lot of emojis and everything. And I say something?
No.
Okay. He likes to use a lot of emojis and some funny things, rainbows and stuff. How you would know where your intelligence is when there's some things you take out. You don't just post exactly what that's giving you. That don't work. You don't work like that. You have to edit it and still try to add your own intelligence, add your own spice to it. It's true that ChatGPT can give you the real deal, but you want a touch of your own, of yourself. All right. So the next steps. So what I would advise is that you should begin experimenting with CapCut as much as you can. Begin experimenting with Canva. So the thing is, a lot of people are scared of these apps, but these apps are supposed to obey us. Do you understand? These apps obey us. People are even scared of going on Instagram. They don't know how to post on Instagram. When they tell them post on Instagram, they start shaking. They start getting scared. And I'm like, no, the features are there for you. You're to give the app a command. You're to give CapCut a command. I cannot edit with CapCut. Go to YouTube or pay for the course. And don't be scared. But just have in mind that that app answers to you. It answers to you. It doesn't have any power over you. You have power over the app. There's no need to be scared of it. And you can do anything you want with these apps. Okay? So leverage these tools for your business today. You need these tools. You cannot keep running on offline. You are leaving money on the table. Okay, so this is where I draw the curtain, and I hope that I've made sense. If you have your questions, please ask.
Okay. Debbie, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was quite insightful. Thanks. But because you use all of your time, like all of it, so can we your questions to maybe just so we can just so we don't run out of time, or actually or anyone that has questions can actually just drop them.
Okay.
So we keep up with our time.
Okay, no problem at all.
Thank you very much, Debbie. In fact, AI is one thing that people do not really know, people know less, or that is being underrated. Let me put it that way. Let me just say being underrated because, the thing is that tech is here to stay and is here to stay. So we just have to take advantage of it and make sure that we use it to our own advantage, to the fullest, because we live in a time where technology is actually reshaping the industries, is redefining possibilities, but despite these advancements, there are a lot of women, they're actually under presented in tech. That's the reason we are also organizing things like this, and that's why we're making it free, because first of all, the focus at first is to make sure that we carry out as many people as possible along, and that's just what this is, just that gap that this event seeks to address. Like I had said before when we started, Our focus is just to empower men with knowledge tools, just like you have shared already today, is also to get them confidence enough to embrace technology and drive innovations, and also to create meaningful impact, so to say. So thank you. Like I always tell people, ChatGPT, what you give to it, is what it gives back to you.
It's
just like when you're having a conversation or when you're in an interview. If you do not have proper knowledge of what you're being interviewed on, the interviewer or the journalist will just take advantage of you. It's the same thing when you're in a conversation. If you don't have proper knowledge of what you're talking about, people will just feel like you don't know what you're doing at all. So it's what you give to ChatGPT that it gives back to you. So like when people say AI is not taking our jobs, I want to just digress a bit.
No.
No, it's not. Just making it easier for us. Thank you. So our next speaker is supposed to be our sponsor. Silverbird West Africa has actually sponsored this free event. And we're supposed to have Mrs. Fumi Onuma, who is General Manager, Silverbird West Africa, speaking, but I don't think she's currently available to talk at the moment. So, move over to Omomi Ayalash. I like to call her Ayalash. In fact, that is what she's popularly known as, and I think that's the name she even prefers to be called. Okay, so we're just going to have Omomi speak. Omo, are you ready? Okay, sorry. I'm just going to, I think you are muted because I had muted everyone. So I'm just going to mute you. I'm sorry about that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is Fumi Onuma that has joined right now.
Okay, then she can go ahead. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I'm sorry about that, Omo.
No worries.
She has joined, and I'll just unmute her. Can you hear me, Ma? Fumi, welcome. I have asked. Good evening. Okay, so just before you joined, we're actually talking about just before Fumi joined, I'm just going to introduce Fumi again because I already mentioned that Fumi is like Silverbird West Africa is proudly sponsoring this free meeting, and Fumi Onuma is the general manager of Silverbird West Africa, Silverbird Cinema West Africa. She's an entertainment business leader, and she's one of the top 50 global cinema women, She's a leader in the industry, and she's been serving as, she's currently serving as general manager of Silverbird West Africa, like I've mentioned. She has expertise in adapting to change and driving growth. I've been opportune to work with Fumi. Actually, my career started in Silverbird, That's my foundation. That's where I actually started my first career after my uni. And I've worked with her, and I've also seen how she has really grown far, as in how she's been in charge in the industry and how she's been climbing up the ladder very fast in the industry. So when I put this event together, I also thought to ask her to speak to us, to share how she has also been able to excel as a woman in the world of tech. And I think she's, if you're mentioning cinema in West Africa, she's one of the people that have a say as long as cinema business is concerned. And I know that even working in the cinema, you get to be exposed to, you get to learn to use a whole lot of tools. Like, it keeps advancing. The way we started it is not the same way it is. And that's the same way tech is. So we'd just like her to share that experience with us, to tell us how she has been able to stay focused, and how she has been able to advance even with all of this. Yeah. You have the floor, Fumi. Welcome. So you can speak for like 20 minutes, and then we'll leave the rest for questions. If anybody has a question to ask, please. She's still there. Is she still there? Did I talk too much and I now knocked her out? Okay, she's still here. You have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. I'm okay. Good evening, Anna. Thanks for the introduction. I'm showing my video. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, okay. I'll
Is it?
check. Your video is off. I think it is off. If you just put it on. I see here that your video is, yeah, that's okay. That's it.
So is it on now?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, good evening.
Good evening. I can see you.
Thanks for the introductions, Anna. And yes, you started your career with Silverbird, and it's been a long journey from, I think that was 2009.
Yes.
2009, that's been a very long journey and all that. I'm actually shocked myself. I've stayed this long. Being a wife and mother and rising up in a career and an ever-changing world, basically. It amazes me and all that. Yeah. So yes, they said I have 20 minutes. I hope I'll do justice. So I'm struggling because today is Friday and a lot of things happen on Fridays in the cinema world.
It's
So
a busy day.
Exactly. Anna knows everything. So I think the number one question is strategies for staying focused and being relevant in a tech-driven world. For me, I think one of my key strongholds being a lifelong learner and all that. And when you look at the world of generative AI and you talk in the place of business, the business in entertainment, the fact that a lot of people think that you have time to learn and you wake up the next morning, you see somebody has done something and you need to update yourself. You just realize that you really don't have time to learn these things because learning and improving yourself is actually a journey, not a destination. Because the worst thing you can ever do to yourself is wait for a better opportunity to sit down and learn, understanding the fact that after COVID, accelerated growth of technology and change has come at a very fast approach. If you look at the days of PowerPoint and Canva, how Canva has evolved in doing presentations now, you realize that if you were struggling with PowerPoint itself a few years ago, you realize that AI has changed those dynamics. You can get your presentations and graphics done in under 20 minutes. You have templates to get it prepared for you. So if we're still struggling with Excel, it's basically the same thing and all that. I'm using those basics as examples in the change in the tech space and all that. You have people saying things like data analysis, business analysis, things that you thought like maybe I have time to understand it. And you realize with just one template, you feed into ChatGPT, it gives you something else basically, and you are still struggling with learning ChatGPT and you are still on the basics, and you're telling yourself like, do I really need it? For me, you never know when that knowledge would definitely be needed, because now the world we live in is, I would say, is for the illiterates. Before we had the analog and we had the digital, but now it's the world we are in now. You have educated people that don't know about stuff and all that. So I think for me, my number one take home for that is be a lifelong learner and all that, evolve and embrace change. Then be quick to implement. When you learn something, don't be afraid. Basically, I see a lot of these younger folks. When I say younger folks, people between the age of 13 to 18, they just go up. If I look at the music industry, Davido comes up with a song and somebody does a dance challenge. You see how the trend, it doesn't really wait for you to embrace the music. You embrace the dance, then the music, A lot of times we've seen how, even during COVID, how we had Bob Daddy by Fowls. Everybody was doing the Bob Daddy challenge and all that. If you look at the entertainment industry, we've seen where somebody does a nice movie using the Yoruba ancient theme, and everybody is doing movies after that, because you're not waiting for the next year to think about, like, will it be there? Will people want epic movies anymore and all that? That's the same way with technology. You can't just decide to wait, because that thing you're trying to catch up with, before you realize and you want to implement, it's already old, basically. So that's my number 2 keys. Be quick to implement, because you might lose motivation, you might lose focus, you might lose time spent on acquiring that skill itself, basically. So I think my number 3 tip is embrace change as it comes. Yes, basically, because the world is moving. And as it comes, you have to embrace it. You don't need to be one of the like, no, I'm not really into this thing. I don't feel we can do that. We had the era of, we had customer service in the entertainment industry, in my film sector, in different sectors. But now you have the chat box, you have generative AI responding to issues, even in the banking industry, sort codes, and the AI apps are created to respond to your queries and all that. So if we're just in customer service thinking that my job is secured and all that, you realize that I need to learn how to code. I need to understand that coding is also something that can take me far and all that. You learn one skill in January, you realize that by December, I remember there was a hype on Scrum Master, and people just realized that, okay, agile, and all that. A lot of people, I've seen people get certified year after year, and because of that, their employment value increases, because they've embraced change, they're adapting it, and they're on the move. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Then, okay, I think my number 4 tip is be part of a community. I'm very happy with what the convener is doing, and I agree having a community where women and maybe are there guys on this group? I'm not sure. I think are there only women here?
It's for women, but we might have some guys that would have attended, because some persons asked to join those. So I don't know.
Diversity and inclusion. But the good thing is that you have to pick your niche. I think for me, one of the things that really helped me was having a community of women, joining a community of women at an early age, at let's say 23, 24. That was WIMBIs in Nigeria, which they were not really, I didn't have anybody in the media, entertainment, or cinema woman ahead of me in Nigeria, West Africa, that could mentor me. But I realized I needed mentorship and experience in women that were in leadership positions. And I sought that community, and I was intentional about it. And funny enough, I saw women pivot from one career path to other career paths. I saw women going from core banking engineering to tech community tech jobs. I saw people in banks take up courses that help them get employment in Florida Waves, Paystack, and all those companies. Embracing change is actually asking yourself, where do I want to be? How do I see myself in 2 years? How much do I want to earn? And all that, because there was a research that LinkedIn founder did. He found that in the next 5 years, that it's going to be a gig economy where people are not really looking for 9-to-5 jobs. You might end up being employed for your skill as a cybersecurity expert, a project manager, on projects, data analysis, sales specialists, management specialists. People would employ you based on your skill set and all that. You know, if you look at the fact that your education and your expertise and skills are because of the curriculum in Nigeria, it's never the same and all that, because of the change in technology and how fast technology is changing, you should just be abreast and be in societies like what Anna is doing. I have seen Anna grow through her career, change her location, change her career path to embrace the realities of today's world. You can't stay in one place and expect change. Nothing grows in a comfort zone and all that. I joined my company with my BSc, I've done my MBA, I've done my postgrad, I've done business analysis training, I've done courses on project training. I do courses on Udemy, Coursera, just to keep myself abreast with change, because I have staff that I employ for certain roles, but also I need to understand what they're talking about. So even as a leader and a manager of people, if I'm not in touch with change, I would struggle to understand. We have an app that I manage, a tech team. I have certain certifications that help me, but also understanding the coding language to use, when the app needs to be updated, the team managing the interface of our website, understanding what a cPanel is. You know, imagine talking to somebody that was born in 1972, not understanding all that. You would struggle to educate them. So, and with that, it also helps me as a boss understand the challenges of not implementing certain things that are being brought to my attention, and also the younger staff understand the importance of not increasing their own knowledge, because if they think they're doing me a favor, I might just meet up someone that has newer understanding of newer technology, and I will employ the person. And it won't be about, oh, she's not a nice person. We have a job to do and all that. So being in a community where you are in a space with other women, somebody comes up and says, oh, I heard this new thing is trending. You guys look at it. You might be surprised, like, wow, this is something new and I want to learn. I want to keep myself in touch and all that. And like I said, I know the founder, and I know she's abreast with change. She's an educationist herself, and have been involved with her. And I can completely tell you that you are in a safe space. You are with somebody that wants to know more, has changed from where she was 10 years ago. If you look at her resume on LinkedIn, you will know that she's somebody that embraces change. I'm sure she doesn't have a lot of things that she has done behind the scene, but definitely you are in a safe space. So this is my final, well, on the question is tip 5, have a mentor that keeps you focused on your career journey. which I've said already, having a career, a mentor. Sometimes for me, I've had mentors that don't know that they're mentoring me. There are people that I follow on LinkedIn, that people I follow their career path, their stories, their journeys. They don't even know they're mentoring me. So, and sometimes I will say, maybe it's better not to meet your mentors. I've heard horrible stories about people meeting their mentors and not treating them well. But I would say, as a manager of people, I manage locations in Nigeria, 6 sites, and I manage Ghana, 2 sites, and that means I manage over almost 500 people. Trust me, I can't keep up. So if you tell me, I want you to mentor me, like, oh my God, you know, I might give you the time you want, might not. But look for a mentor, someone you look at the person's resume and like, oh, I think I aspire to be. You don't really need to meet the person. If you are lucky to meet people that have that time and opportunity to spend with you, like the time that Anna got me to be involved today, grab it, take one sentence away and understand that, trust me, if I didn't change from day one, I wouldn't be on this road. We women, we are blessed with a lot of opportunities that, oh, you're a fine girl, if you know people, you get to the boardroom. Trust me, fine girl, yes, you get to the boardroom, but your common sense and brains keep you there. That's the truth. Yes, it works. Like, oh, you package yourself, do BBL and all that, get there. But trust me, it's your common sense that will keep you there. Because sometimes you open your mouth, if you're not intelligent, people would know. But when you're intelligent, people don't see that pretty girl again. They'll see a smart, intelligent woman that has something to offer. And that's when your value is well respected. But you must be teachable, adaptable, and communicatable, and knowledgeable. It is so key because people will test you, especially the men. Life will test you to realize, find out, does she deserve this role? So we women, it's harder for us to rise up to a career level when in an ever-changing world. For me, as a wife and mother, is one of the struggles, I would tell you. So when you decide to commit yourself into a community, if you're not pulling your weight, somebody in that community will check up on you and say, where have you been? I haven't seen you on some of the webinars and all that. Having an accountability partner in your community, somebody that is put with you. I think that's something, I don't really know much about community, somebody that ensures that you level up, that you are there. Like sometimes I write articles and I don't write articles on LinkedIn. Somebody said, for me, you haven't written articles for a very long time. Like, oh yes, I'm really going through a lot. I'm in a new job now and all that. You understand? You get. And life can be very overwhelming wherever you are, abroad or Nigeria. It can be very overwhelming. So you need that support, that community that understands that if you're not on a webinar today, there's another one next month, you're not there. The third time, somebody checks up on you and says, where are you? And all that. Like my favorite, I like the video, we rise by lifting others. I think that's a very good motto and all that. You know, question 2, balancing personal and professional growth in tech. I think don't be afraid of making mistakes. For me I will use an example. We built an app last year. I made a fundamental mistake. I will say it personally here, is that we engaged someone that was a startup that was running a one-man show, but presented his company like his company was like a 10-man, 15-man show. It stretched us for a very long time. It took us from something that was meant to be 2 months to a 12-month journey. Contracts have been signed. Payments have been done. I couldn't cancel it. But I learned my lesson doing a due diligence issue. So as you learn, you might take a course. that might seem worthless to you, but it's an experience. You will take out something from that mistake. Don't be afraid not to. Don't be afraid in taking a risk or taking a step. I remember when I did a business analysis training. I started with someone, and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't getting the vibes. I communicated to the instructors, and they realized other people had given their feedback. If I had kept quiet, I would have finished a training, paid my money, and felt empty. But the instructor listened to it, and the feedback helped, and they changed the instructor, and it was a lot better. We started working on projects, on the training, and it came out good, basically. So I think one of the issues there is, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's inevitable and all that. Don't be afraid that risk, I don't want to lose this money because, or I don't have time and all that. Somehow you will take something from it. I think setting healthy boundaries, not to feel burnt out. Like, you shouldn't be on every webinar, every training, every seminar, every church activity. You need to take time to reflect, reboot, and reset. Sometimes when I know that I'm everywhere, I just relax. I take a deep breath and just relax. Like, for me, you need to know your why. And your why in January might be different from your why in November. Do you understand? Because life changes, things change. You need to understand, is this for me? Is that for me? Is this my calling? Is that not my calling? I'm a Christian, and there's a time when you need to sit down with God and hear from him. In the midst of the noise, you might not hear the instruction. You might not hear your why. It's not somebody telling you, I've seen this thing for you. You're a good project manager and everything. You're always organizing things and blah, 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 everything, But on a normal day, you don't feel it. You don't have that passion and all that. Does it pay your bills? Yes, if it's paying your bills, please stay there. Don't say somebody told you it's not your calling, and from this webinar, you change your career. No, if it's paying your bills, meeting your targets, please stay there and all that. Stay there, wait till you find your passion that can pay your bills and all that. So for me, I think, and all that, then when you receive resets and reboots, also your health comes first. You need to be alive to embrace change. You need to not just reset your healthy habits and all that, in ensuring that now we're talking about mental health everywhere, but yes, when you take in a lot, when you are overwhelmed, even when you reset, if you reset and reboot and you stay down for too long, still quiet, you realize you might start getting into in a depressive state, and you might be comfortable being in that corner and all that, remembering now that it's affecting your mental health because you've taken a back seat for too long. Sometimes you need to represent yourself. This is who I am. This is what I am and everything. That is your story. You can tell it so many times. It's yours. If I wake up every morning and say, I'm introducing myself, it's about me, not you. And it's about, I'm reminding myself that, hey, I'm still around, I'm evolving, I'm changing, I'm improving, and this is the new me. You can be the new me every day, every month, every year. It's your life. And so I think we're open for questions now, and I hope I'll be able to talk, pass my points to certain people and all that. It's taking something away from my journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Fumi. Thank you. Talking about project management, I remember when we did our first project management training. I don't know if you remember. Then we didn't have project management tools. That was in 2011. So it was just theory. It was just theory, and there were no tools. I'm just just looking about the fact that careers just keep evolving and you need to keep up to date with the new tools. I remember how when the cinema started without DCP, and when DCP came, everybody had to just step up. And then the project management as well, there were no tools. You would just talk. It was just theory, just talking. But now you just have to know how to use all of the project management and business process management tools and all the extra things attached to it. Thank you very much for really. I know Fridays are your very busy days, but I appreciate the fact that you really, really took out time, and thank you so much. If there are questions, please, you can just drop them. If not, for now, we can take questions later and then we could move to the next person, just because I want to keep up with time. And I really have someone here on this call that I would like her to really speak. She's just making a guest appearance. So I would like us to just keep to time.
Thanks for watching the first part of Upskilling for a Digital Future. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you've found value in this session. We share simple tech hacks, AI tools, funding tips, and digital skills to help you grow, no matter your background. This session continues in the next post, where we dive deeper into using AI and storytelling to amplify your brand.